It's that time. I mean, it's not the 21st of September, but Earth, Wind and Fire will always be here every September. Never forget. Um, but this September's seen a lot of stuff, a lot of Venice, a lot of TIFF, and a lot of Megalopolis.
Hi. Hey, you want to play game now? Okay, here. I help. One of these things is not like the other things. One of these things just doesn't belong. Can you guess which thing is not like the other thing before I finish my song?
Yeah, throwback.
We're not going to get struck for that or anything, are we?
We
Probably.
didn't for an entire several years. We used it on the wrestling shows, so I doubt it.
Then again, let's make sure we definitely get couple struck and get back to the club. And that's this. I watched that on a 2-second loop on Twitter so I could get the mannerisms perfect. Thanks, Adam. It's time for the club that is myself, AJ, and Owen to go through our predictions for the Academy Awards Month 2, September 24, edition. Oh my word. I guess the first thing we should bring up in terms of state of the race is how, for the first time in a while, we have a TIFF People's Choice that isn't actually existing.
Is the Life of Chuck getting pushed for the reason I think I heard it was getting pushed?
All I know is that it doesn't have a distributor still.
Didn't Neon pick it up?
I haven't seen anything since it happened. I haven't heard anybody commit. That being said, a lot of stuff that was non-studio related all of a sudden became studio related. The Maria Callas thing from Angelina Jolie is now officially Netflix. I think both Queer and The Brutalist are A24 now. Which, dear God. That's becoming crazy. And then I think it's September 5th has been picked up by Paramount because they're that confident in Gladiator 2, clearly. But that means, on top of Sing Sing already, and possibly We Live in Time, but, depending what happens with that, I don't know. But Brutalist is A24. What was the other thing with Nicole Kidman? Baby Girl, that's A24.
Baby Girl. Yeah.
So, A24 is they must have made a lot of bank from film that we can't mention because it triggers Owen. Because, depending how it goes, there might be 3 or 4 or 7 films that are A24 that are going to get acknowledgement somewhere in the 24, still 23 just yet. Damn it. There's going to be a lot of A24 in it for a studio that's independent.
The thing I was referring to was The Life of Chuck was picked up by Neon, and Neon's already got all of their push on another movie. So, not only I hate to, for people that are out of the loop, my grudge against Sean Baker. Not only is he so high in the Oscar race, his movie is preventing a Stephen King adaptation from being in this award season. Now, it could still be in the next one, but yeah, anybody that's been on the channel knows that I might be a mild Stephen King fan. I didn't even mean to wear this shirt, by the way.
So slightly.
But yeah, that's what I had heard was they have so much behind Anora, they were like, we're just gonna wait for The Life of Chuck. So, yeah.
That sounds feasible as well. I don't think Neon has as much bankroll as A24 probably has right now, with its successes, that it can afford to do multiple ones. And then, yeah, it's sort of. We're now living in a world where we're talking about 10th anniversary screenings of John Wick 1 because the cinemas are going to be that empty in the next couple of months. My local cinema this week has, for the opening day, has 21 showings of Joker, one showing of Despicable Me, and all the rest is either kids' films that are on at 10 in the morning, or Shaun of the Dead Anniversary, Star Wars Episode 7 because they're doing that, and something else, Hocus Pocus 30th Anniversary. There is no other new films. Not even Deadpool is hanging around. It's literally just going to be all about Joker. It's coming back over the rest of the week, Deadpool and Wolverine and all that. Oh, the other one, sorry, is the Beetlejuice sequel. That's the only other one that's actually going to be in the cinema. Just those two films.
Wouldn't Hocus Pocus's 30th anniversary have been last year?
It's just called the 30th anniversary because it's the same thing from last year. They're just showing it again because, you know, Hollywood. You know, at this rate, I feel we're going to get, you know, a 7th anniversary screening of insert film here because they're that desperate to, you know, put stuff on. They're doing Paddington rescreenings just to hype up for Paddington 3. They did a Joker rescreening because of Joker. We've still got 10th anniversary screenings of Interstellar going on this week. They're showing Nightmare on Elm Street at some point. They're showing Back to the Future 2, Carrie, Evil Dead 2, 40th anniversary of Ghostbusters, Gladiator 1, because of course.
I like the idea of screening classics for no reason. It's the Joker 2 needs 20 showtimes thing that kind of pisses me off.
Yeah. And there's the obligatory Smile 1 and 2 double bill, so those that want to go through the first one can see the second one like a day early. Or something. So I've just realised that does actually mean that pretty much the entire cinema on Friday, at least local to me, is just going to be Warner Brothers, because Beetlejuice is Warner Brothers as well, so... Dear God. Blimey. But yeah, in terms of other stuff, at least I saw the notes from Bry on the stuff that the foreign submissions are beginning to come in. I think France's official entry now is I'm trying to think. Amelia Perez. They've decided to go for that. Germany's is Seed of a Sacred Fig. Basically because Iran don't like Mohammed Rasulov. So Germany, because he exiled to Germany, Germany is like, well, we're taking your film then. And then all the submissions that do need to be put in have to be put in by October the 2nd. So by the time we do this at the end of October, we'll actually know all the submissions, at least internationally, and see whether we get any other big contenders. I think the other one I saw Bri mentioned on the Discord was it the Indian one not making it in? I can't remember. And then also the UK does actually have one again because Santosh, the crime drama film, is predominantly in Hindi. So that classifies that way. In terms of other stuff, is it... I'm trying to remember. Somebody's getting us... Is it Sing Sing that's getting special ignition at the Gothams? I know Villeneuve's getting some sort of director tribute thing. I saw that.
I hadn't heard that, but Sing Sing getting something at Gotham just sounds like it makes sense. So it's probably
I'm trying to look through the list.
It looks like it's
no.
the piano lesson, not Sing Sing.
Yeah, the ensemble tribute's going to Piano Lesson. Of
Yes.
late. I knew it was one of the two, but I couldn't remember exactly which one.
And now that I've finally started talking, to reiterate, one thing that matters is the fact that Ireland's official representation is going to be Kneecap, which make me very happy to get into the Oscar race.
It seems annoying though that 2 or 3 of the most interesting films that I've seen trailers for or heard about because of TIFF, i.e., you know, what we just talked about, the King thing, aren't coming out till January. We've got Soderbergh's Presence, which is making a horror film from the perspective of the entity.
Yep.
Which seems good. Mickey 17, which is Director Bong's version of Moon. That's the best I can describe it. From what the trailer looks like. Then again, it sort of looks more like Moon meets It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. From the way some of that goes. Yeah, just having now seen the first teaser for what Soderbergh's doing next, it makes so much sense. But yes, we got Spencer and Brian chat, but I'll be going to Bry's YouTube video to get the predictions from Bry. But is there anything else to touch on, at least in terms of... I don't think there's been much awards-wise happening. Relatively quiet for a change.
You know, it's definitely a different vibe not having the TIFF winner to shake things up. So
Yeah.
Because what I did, I really didn't make a lot of changes from last time, and I feel like all but one of the changes I made involved the Brutalist. That's about all that's changed with me.
A few things have switched here and there for me.
Well, I had obviously I went in on the bird thing last time because I was like that could always be the TIFF breakout, and it wasn't. They did release another still, which gave me some information that I ended up using. I went ahead and dropped the bird thing. Basically, the Brutalist mostly filled those gaps in anyway, so it didn't really matter.
It's official. The bird is now not the word. Oh my word.
We of course have had some passings recently since the last time we joined you guys.
What a crazy situation this weekend's been.
Yes.
Oh, what's his name from Beverly Hills Cop? John
Ashton.
John Ashton, yeah. Passing. And I was just remembering that last thing that we saw of him on film, where he's just like, "Fuck it, let's get a steak."
I mean, we haven't even talked about James Earl Jones. That happened right after our last show.
Yeah, true. Yeah, God knows how much of a legacy he's had to a lot of different, mentalities, Vader for kids in the 70s/80s. Mufasa for kids in the 90s. Trying to think.
No, I'm not one of them, but obviously Conan has a massive fan base.
Yeah. Even some of his, because didn't like in the last 10 years or so he did like either a Broadway or West End or both revival of Driving Miss Daisy, I think, where he played the driver. Part of me just rings in the back of my head. The only reason, of course, I also bring up the stage stuff is the late great Maggie Smith dying a year to the day on the passing of Michael Gambon.
It's alarming how quickly we're losing the Pottercast.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah, certainly, that means you've got, Harris, Rickman, Gambon, Coltrane, and Maggie Smith just having a hell of a fucking time in heaven right now.
Richard Griffiths, too.
Getting drunk as all hell. No doubt. And again, you look at her early stuff with her theatre stuff and background, which got so much acclaim that Olivier went, right, I'm using you for the movie, which got her first Oscar nomination. Then, the iconic, at least to me, primer Miss Jean Brodie that put her on the map. And then she sort of did bits here and there. She was obviously part of the Poirot, Death on the Nile, and was it Murder by Death, I think? The one that was sort of parodying it, basically, in or around the same time. And then, of course, 90s probably would be... Was it 90s Sister Act 1, or was it just late 80s? I'm trying to...
It was 90s.
We also can't skip over California Suite, her other Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed we're doing an Oscar video, and for James Earl Jones, we didn't mention The Great White Hope, his only Oscar nomination. Oh, and Claudine, we should have mentioned for him too.
There's a lot of stuff that they've done which probably should have got Oscar recognition and never actually did. A lot of good performances that just, we've got to give it to other people instead. Case in point, I mean, somebody said this is one of the best entrances in a superhero movie, and it's the scene where, again, rest in peace Chris Christopherson, when he shows up to save Blade, and he's like, "Are you fuckers here for the party?" and just plows them all down. That's. I know it's not his opening line in the thing, because that's like within the last 20-30 minutes and whatever, but that's an arrival scene. That's up there with Avengers Assemble. It's like just
all another reason also to forget that Blade Trinity exists, because they did him so dirty in that one.
Yeah. But yeah, like so many going in like relatively short notice. And apparently there's also news just now, at least on the Broadway scene, that Gavin Creel from Hair, Hello Dolly, Into the Woods, and a bunch of things, who was a Tony winner, has
Pays Elder Price in the Book of Mormon.
Passed away at the age of only 48. It's blimey. Ugh. So yeah, a lot of respects out to, a lot of people. At this rate, I don't know how long these in memoriam sections are going to be for a lot of these things, because there's a lot of high-profile people that may or may not be sort of like... To find out more about these people, go to the website.
Yeah, just don't literally hit the fast forward button like they did for 2020. That was embarrassing.
um, but yeah, right. I need to make a note. Okay, at roughly 21:20, I think it's time to begin the predictions.
Yeah, I had said I didn't make many changes before we went live. I think Owen was hinting that he didn't make a lot of changes. So I'm thinking we can probably go through this pretty quickly.
It's very
Yeah,
possible.
relatively. I think. Just looking at mine, I made 3 switches in picture, and then the rest is pretty much 1 or 2 for various things. But it's not like
There is
anything.
a literal switch in every category except for screenplay.
Hmm.
I think I too only had one switch per category and then one that stayed exactly the same.
Yeah.
So if you watched last month, you almost can fast forward, but don't do that because there's talk ahead. Oh, by the way, if you can stomach it, go watch The Substance immediately.
Okay, so are we starting with adapted?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you're gonna hear this a lot. I made one change and only one change.
Okay.
I have a complete unknown, Conclave, Queer, The Room Next Door, and Sing Sing. In Queer's place, I had Night Bitch because I went through the whole, oh, it might be the fun choice or the out there choice. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be, even before the trailer came out and I heard it got a divisive reaction. I wasn't feeling it as a big awards movie like a lot of people seem to be, and I didn't really get where that was coming from. But I still put it here, but it's not here now. Once Queer got its release date, I went ahead. This is the only place I have Queer in. Um, with other choices being like, the piano lesson I always have like right there. Like it's always number 6, and I've never quite put it in yet. Um, and Nickel Boys, Amelia Perez. Amelia Perez, I was talking about with the musical elements. That's always shaky with screenplay. And I made it a point last time about how I'm not sure about Nickel Boys either, and how it's not always the historical stuff like that that looks like it was made for awards. It doesn't typically go that route near as much as it used to. So, I went with Queer in that 5th spot now. So that was the only change I made.
I've put Joker to the side because I'm waiting to see how people actually feel about that. So in its place, alongside Sing Sing, Room Next Door, Piano Lesson, and A Complete Unknown, I've decided to stick in Amelia Perez. I'm going to commit to it being adapted, considering from what I can tell, it's an adaptation of an adaptation. Because it's Audiard's libretto that I don't think ever actually happened, possibly because of the pandemic. But that in itself is based off like a short story or something. So I think it's confident enough because it was one of those things where people weren't sure whether because it was an unrealized piece and how prolific the short story was, whether it be original or not. I'm because it seems like it's an adaptation of an adaptation. It does feel like I'm confident in saying it's probably adapted. But yeah, that's got a lot of interesting buzz. I can't remember what the schedule is for some of these releases because I do feel that Netflix like to start dropping some of the contenders in October. So I'd have to look at list of Netflix stuff, which I'll probably do while I give you Bry's stuff. So Bry has 9, at least in terms of also rans. That probably sounds harsh, but it's basically stuff that doesn't make the short list of 5. Those are Nosferatu, Inside Out 2, Wild Robot, Gladiator 2, Hitman, Complete Unknown, Piano Lesson, I'm Still Here, and Amelia Perez. The 5 that Bry is going for are Conclave, Dune 2, Room Next Door, Sing Sing, and The Life of Chuck. Which, of course, you know, Life of Chuck is possibly up in the air because we don't know when that is officially releasing just yet. Although the belief is it probably will be next year. So there's a weird case where it might be BAFTA eligible, but not Oscar eligible. Huh? In chat, Spencer has Wake Up Dead Man, Wild Robot, Inside Out 2, Sing Sing, and Amelia Perez. 2 animated. Interesting. I don't see anything else.
I was thinking Wake Up Dead Man was next year. That'd be fantastic if it was this year, but I was thinking it was next year.
Let me check.
I would love to see that as soon as possible. But
Wake Up Dead Man. Oh yeah, it's a 2025, so Spencer, if you want to submit a 5th one, because it's not coming out this year. Well, Spencer also adds, I really enjoyed the movie Elephant. And specifically, AJ, he wants you to know that he's watched it 5 times in 1 week, which means it joins Frailty, Smile, and Pacific Heights in terms of that many times in the space of 7 days.
it's kind of weird how rewatchable that movie is, despite its disturbing content.
And Josie's also mentioned Life of Chuck is coming out next summer from Neon, so things will obviously have to change with other people's lists. Josie, I don't know whether you've got your adapted. You know, I can read them from the chat. I'll let Owen do his first, and I'll keep an eye out for that. Oh, hang on. Bry said, if we take out The Life of Chuck, I would have Conclave, Dune 2, I'm Still Here, Room Next Door, and Sing Sing. So Amelia Perez would still be on the cusp. Interesting. Okay.
So I didn't change anything from my last lineup either. I had a lot of thoughts to switch something, and this Amelia Perez situation of being original versus adapted, I went the opposite direction, as you know if you watched the show last month. So I'm sticking it in original, but obviously if that happens, then I just got to flip-ski something around and slide something into its place. It's not hard to do. It's only September. That being said, my best adapted screenplay lineup continues to be Sing Sing, The Piano Lesson, Conclave, A Complete Unknown, and Joker, Folie à Deux.
All right, original.
Mm-hmm.
As I was saying, well, yeah, it's exactly what I just said. I took out Bird, I put the Brutalist in. That's what happened. So so what I have is Honora, the Brutalist, Hard Truths, A Real Pain, and The Seed of the Sacred Fig. One I really have on the cusp, and I'm actually getting more and more excited about the closer it gets, is Saturday Night.
Yes.
I feel like, just from what I've heard, I feel like that has a real shot. But I couldn't bring myself to take out Mike Lee or The Seed of the Sacred Fig just yet. Honora and A Real Pain are the ones I'm the most confident in. And then the Brutalist seems to... Right now, I'm being consistent with the Brutalist. I'll just say that. And we'll see what happens with Mike Lee, but it's going to be hard for me to let him go. And I know I had that problem in 2014 or whenever it was with Mr. Turner, but we're back. He's got me again, so we'll see what happens and if I fall into the same trap or not. So that's my...
Interesting that you have Saturday Night on the cusp of falling in, because I have Saturday Night on the cusp of falling out. It just about... Because the amount I've seen from reviews of people that saw it over... I think it may have been at Telluride, I can't remember, but where it has shown up, some criticism has kind of been made of the writing. And that it sort of... you know, it's not as good as you hope it would be, considering the story that could be told about it. I don't know whether that's also though a directional problem, or you know, some of the performances aren't as good as you'd hope, sort of thing. We'll fully find out when it actually goes, you know, on a wide release in the next couple of weeks or so. But yeah, I still have Saturday Night in. I still have Hard Truths in, and I will have Blitz in until it gets ripped from my cold dead hands. I'm going to stick with Steve McQueen and hope that Apple gets some sort of recognition after Coda, because apparently that's like all Apple has been acknowledged for. Kneecap and Challengers move out, so that Sean Baker's Honora and Jesse Eisenberg's A Real Pain move in. So that's my 5. But yeah, Saturday Night's on the cusp of going out. That's the weakest of the 5, I feel, personally, at least at the minute. And Seed of a Sacred Fig looks more and more closer like it could eke its way into original as well. Let me have a quick check. Comments. For Best Original from Spencer, Honora, Brutalist, Saturday Night, The Substance, and His 3 Daughters. The Substance deserves something, but I don't know whether it might be... I don't know whether some people might say it's a little too extreme for the Academy.
You think?
I mean, they didn't like they didn't like Cronenberg back in the day, so why would they go for The Substance?
I will say that if you ever have the opportunity to watch The Substance in a full theater, take it.
I've heard that. I've heard you say that, and I've heard more people since you say that. It's like this.
Oh, it's an event, my friend. Especially everybody along for the ride when they don't know what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
My original lineup now?
Well, no, Bry, in terms of the shortlist, has, or the ones just outside, are Juror Number 2, Substance, His 3 Daughters, Dee Dee, I think it is, Civil War, Saturday Night, All We Imagine Is Light, and Blitz. But the 5 are Honora, The Brutalist, Challengers, A Real Pain, and Baby Girl.
There's
and then Josie has... I'm now seeing Josie's adapted were Conclave, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nosferatu, and World Robot. For original, she has 8, but we're having a little bit of fun. So Josie's list is Honora, Blitz, Brutalist, Hard Truths, Memoir of a Snail, A Real Pain, Seed of a Sacred Fig, and Universal Language. And Josie is also loving the shit out of A Substance.
Hell yeah, Josie.
I've been questioning if Juror Number 2 might come in here in general when we know something about it. Because right now, don't we only know Eastwood, the cast, the plot, and that it is this year, but we haven't heard anything.
Yeah, all we know is it's the premise is a juror serving on a murder trial realizes that he may be at fault for the victim's death.
That could be really fucking good.
That sounds great.
I'm really I'm trying to not forget about it before we start hearing things.
Although the thing that partly has me a little concerned is its world premiere will be at the closing film of the AFI Fest, which is October the 27th. It then releases, let me check, 5 days later on November the 1st. So so they clearly aren't trying to do that much Oscars hype for it if they're only doing a 5-day window between world premiere and letting anybody see it.
Well,
that being said, Warner Brothers are juggling a lot of things this year compared to previous years as well. What with Dune 2 and maybe Joker, depending how that goes. So,
If we're going with an Eastwood comparison, American Sniper didn't need a lot of hype to get what it got. That all happened very last minute.
Very true.
At the same time, the subject matter of that was probably what held it good. We sort of knew the story of the guy. With this, it's a person. He's on a jury. Why does it sound like the Brady Bunch? We also know it's apparently 2 hours and 37 minutes long, which
Damn.
for a Clint Eastwood film, it might be one of the longest he's done in a while. To be fair, because I don't think Cry Macho was 2.5 hours.
I don't remember Cry Macho enough to remember what its runtime was,
I
even though I did.
I just checked. It was like an hour and 45. It seems like it's been a while though since he did something longer than 2 hours. It might even been because American Sniper was about 2 hours, 2.25, I think, roughly. Give or take.
I think that's about where Richard Jewell was too, like 2:10 or something.
I think 1:30. Yeah.
So I guess that means it's my turn.
Yeah, that's everything.
Like I said, I mentioned the stuff about Amelia Perez. Definitely not the last time. I'm going to talk about that before the show's over tonight. I made a couple changes. So, actually, I had to go all Charlton Heston and say, you're going to rip this out of my cold, dead hand. So, I decided to let it go. Blitz has been dropped off my lineup, as well as Challengers, which I'm not happy about, but I had to because, we're trying to win this competition. We're not necessarily trying to predict what we like. Anyway, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. See the last couple years for the rules. So I have Saturday Night, A Real Pain, and Amelia Perez, and joining the lineup would be the Brutalist and Honora. I don't need to say anything else.
Seems fair.
Okay. Supporting actress.
That's correct.
You're never going to believe this, guys.
I made one change.
I made one change, and it's because of the Brutalist.
God dang it.
Danielle Deadweiler for the Piano Lesson, Ingenue Ellis for Nickel Voice, Felicity Jones for the Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. I took out Jillian Moore for The Room Next Door because I need to take somebody out, and we've been seeing more for The Room Next Door, to my understanding, but like I said, it's somebody that doesn't watch trailers. This is very inconvenient for me.
We actually have had a clarification, and Brian mentioned it in chat. Both are campaigning for leading.
They're going for leading, so it's going to be even harder to get them into supporting. So
that worked too.
Are out. So there you go.
I feel good about what I did with Swinton last time when people were still saying supporting. So fuck y'all.
Fair.
Yeah, Felicity Jones, a previous nominee. The Brutalist is gaining a lot of momentum. Seemed like a good place to go. The end.
So I've made two switches. One is Julianne Moore, because of the situation that's developed that I just noticed. So in her place goes Felicity Jones for the Brutalist, and then Lady Gaga's dropped out again because I'm interested to see what people actually feel about Joker 2. And in her place moves Selena Gomez for Amelia Perez. So, I've got her and Saldana both. We're going to get a daily double. Or maybe it's a double-double because of what happens with The Room Next Door, but we'll get to that. Along with Saoirse Ronan for Blitz, Wrong one. And Daniel Deadweiler for Piano Lesson. In the cheat, Spencer has Gomez for Amelia Perez, Saldana for Amelia Perez, Deadweiler for Piano Lesson, Ingenue Ellis Taylor for Nickel Boys, and Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. And also adding, don't sleep on Selena Gomez, people. That sounds like a euphemism. She's Rising. That sounds like a double euphemism. Bry's ones that missed out were Ellie Fanning for A Complete Unknown, Joan Chen for Dee Dee, Toni Collette for Jury Number 2, and both Julianne Moore and Tilda Swinton for The Room Next Door. I'm guessing obviously that will change for your predictions if it is established that they are leading now. But the 5 that he has for the main list is Deb Weiler for Piano Lesson, Saoirse Ronan for Blitz, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, and Saldana and Gomez for Amelia Perez. And then Josie has Gomez, Jones, Rossellini, Ronan, Saldana. So a combination.
So it's I say this every single time. When you go last, anything that you think that is going to be like, oh, it's like, oh, I'm going to say this, no one else is. No, of course not. Ashley always steals my thunder. So I'm doing the same exact thing, and that seems to be the general consensus right now. We're going with a double for Amelia Perez. And joining Zoe Saldana, I do have Selena Gomez, which, of course, I've been a fan of for years, and I'm very happy to see she's finally getting her just due, and hopefully this is where she finally starts to break out, where she gets nominations across the board. She deserves every bit of it, 100%. Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, Danielle Deadweiler, because, yes, you need to give her something after she got screwed before, and I will continuously die on that hill. And Felicity Jones, a name I'm seeing pop up a ton. I hate bumping Saoirse Ronan out of here, but I had to out of necessity. So if the double doesn't happen for Amelia Perez, then we could possibly flip out Conclave, but I have more hope in Conclave than some people do, so I guess we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's my 5.
Okay, supporting actor.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. I've been saying I made one change, and it's The Brutalist. I thought about making one change, which would have been The Brutalist, but instead, I kept everything as it was. So I have the exact same 5 that I did before.
Okay.
I would love to see Guy Pearce nominated in general, because he has been so consistently great for so long. And people are talking up Denzel still for Gladiator 2, but it's like, just in general, when it comes to Ridley Scott, I'm just gonna, I'm not doing a damn thing until we know more quality-wise. So, it's still Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Harris Dickinson for Baby Girl, Samuel L. Jackson for The Piano, Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing, and Stanley Tucci for Conclave. I know Dickinson might sound expendable, but I'm just gonna hang on for a little while and see what happens.
That's fair. My only change is taking out Hugh Grant for Heretic. Oh, that's another A20. Dear Lord.
Yeah.
And in his place goes Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing.
Yes.
I wasn't, because of the sort of flu that I've got going down, I actually missed the chance to see it at the cinema that's nearby to me.
So good.
So I'm hoping it shows up within the next couple of months on streaming and whatever, so I can at least see it in some shape or fashion. But other than that, it's still Stephen Graham for Blitz, it's still Samuel L. for Piano Lesson, it's still Stanley Tucci for Conclave, and it's still Denzel Washington for Gladiator 2, because it's Denzel.
Man, that's gonna be the season joke, isn't it?
Before we go to everybody else, I feel like I should mention, in case people didn't see the last one we did, the fact that Harris Dickinson also has Blitz, and most people would say him for Blitz before they would Baby Girl, but I explained myself in the last one.
You did?
Yeah.
Spencer for supporting actor has Mike Feist for Challengers, Josh O'Connor for Challengers, Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing, Denzel for Gladiator 2, and Guy Pearce for The Brutalist. Josie has Yuri Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Guy Pearce for Brutalist, Karan Karanulin for Anora, and Stanley Tucci for Conclave. And then Bry's just missing out list is Brian Tyree Henry for The Fire Inside, John Lithgow for Conclave, Chiwetel Ejiofor for Life of Chuck, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Harris Dickinson for Baby Girl, Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice, and Mark Hamill for The Life of Chuck. Obviously, these Life of Chucks, are getting chucked out. Oh, sorry, I keep bringing up Chuck and I keep remembering Zachary Levi exists.
Oh, God. I mean,
Kate Blanchett did us a favour by killing him off in Thor Ragnarok. That's all I'm saying. And then the actual 5, Mark Edelstein for Anora, Stanley Tucci for Conclave, Denzel for Gladiator 2, Guy Pearce for Brutalist, and Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing.
all right. Well, first off, I want to mention, but since we're about to talk about it, because that's what we're going to do. So recently, as in like within the last couple days, JJ Velasquez from Sing Sing, that obviously went through everything, was actually exonerated officially. So that's news that broke about 10 hours ago. So that's cool. So his murder charge, after serving almost 25 years in prison, he's finally a free man, which is fan-freaking-tastic.
Shame for the other guy that basically got proven that he didn't commit the crime that getting executed last week. I can't remember his name, but what atrocity that seems to be.
Well, I mean, at least we get one good thing out of it, thankfully. Supporting actor is an interesting one for me. There's a lot of names I want to throw into here. Pretty much anyone from the Saturday Night cast I want to go for, but again, unproven right now, but so we'll see where that goes. My supporting actor lineup is the same but different, if that makes any sense. So Denzel is going for it in the Gladiator 2 trailer, and I can see that. But even though Denzel is Denzel, I can't necessarily bet on him here, weirdly enough. So I changed him for someone else, and then I was like, well, wait a minute. This person needs to be here too, because, damn it, this person needs to be nominated for an Oscar, and I feel like this is the year it needs to happen. So I'm basically turning August Wilson against Denzel for this circumstance. So yeah, I'm going with Sam Jackson for The Piano Lesson. I'm keeping it. I wasn't going to. I bumped Denzel out for Sam Jackson. So welcome to my lineup, which also includes Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, which I love this trailer. I see it every single week, it seems like. I cannot wait for the movie. It's later this month, actually, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe the beginning of November. Either way, it's all kind of running together. When you actually do watch it, you never know when things are coming out anymore. So there you go. And that's going to be joining Stanley Tucci for Conclave, and of course, Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing. And yeah, welcome to the party, Guy Pearce. The Brutalist frightens me. I won't lie. This is a movie that is nearly 4 hours with an intermission that I am scared to death I will see 15 minutes of. I must wake myself up to the highest levels. I must get all the caffeine. I must go in on an empty stomach. Anything to keep me from falling asleep during this movie. Because as you know, if you've been a long-time viewer, me and long movies, it's not necessarily the length that's the problem. It's just, and I'm not bored. It's just, I sleep. That's just what happens. Comfortable chairs, Owen sleeps. That's how it is.
You mentioned the Saturday night cast.
Yes.
I suppose take this with a grain of salt, because I think it mostly comes from like his other castmates, but I feel like I've been hearing the performance of the movie as Corey Michael Smith.
Yes.
And to the point that like the cast and crew like actually gathered around to hear him say the "Live from New York" line. So I'll be really curious about him. And he's been killing it in Todd Haynes movies for a while now too. So, so on to actress.
Yes.
I made one change. I'm not confident in this change, but I made it. And it doesn't have to do with the Brutalist. It's the only time I made one change that doesn't have to do with the Brutalist.
Oh boy.
We got Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truth, Carlos Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez. I went Angelina for Maria. And then Mikey Madison and Tilda Swinton. I took out Ronan. And I don't know. And I really looked at that list before because I wanted to put Angelina in. And I looked at it for a long time to decide who's going out. And then as soon as I did it, I was like, I'm not sure, but I went ahead and kept it that way anyway. Because other choices would be, like I said, I'm still having a dilemma with the fact that I'm going with Harris Dickinson and not Kidman. But things like that have happened. And yeah, the more it gets hyped up, the more I'm wondering if like this Demi Moore thing might happen.
Oh, please, 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 please.
It'd be very interesting. I mean, it's not to my understanding, it's not near on the level of all the shit that's in The Substance, but Isabelle Huppert getting nominated for a Paul Verhoeven movie is still something that always comes back to me as I can't believe that happened. So I don't think it's impossible, but I'm going this Angelina route. Like I said, I'm really not confident about taking Ronan out, but I made it a point that I was able to take Ronan out before those other four, so there's that. I don't know. We'll see. That's all I got.
So I still have Carla Sofia Gaston for Amelia Perez, Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truth, Saoirse Ronan for Outrun, and Tilda Swinton for Room Next Door. Pew moves out because, you know, A24 have got a lot of films. I don't know whether We Live in Time is going to be the one they're pushing now. So in its place, you know, I deliberated. Moore had a chance, but from seeing the trailer, it seems like it's a la a lot of things in the trailer. It seems like Mikey Madison as the lead is going to be the pivotal point of Honora, so I went with her. In terms of what chat's saying, Spencer has Zendaya for Challenges, Jolie for Maria, Natasha Lyonne for His Three Daughters, Demi Moore for Substance, and Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl. God, if we get both of them in the same category, that'd be like, holy crap. Josie's saying, as of today, I'm going to leave actor and actress blank, unless something comes up in my head in a few minutes, which I haven't seen about, so Josie is not committing to them. Bry, in terms of the not five, we have Demi Moore for The Substance, Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl, Amy Adams for Night Bitch, Zendaya for Challengers, and both Swinton and Moore for Room Next Door. But the five Bry's committing to is Madison for Honora, Gascon for Amelia Perez, Ronan for Outrun, Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here, and the Jolie for The Callas.
I don't know why this jumped out at me, but you know what I would like to continue to be a trend? Spoilers for the Scream series in this Oscar video. I don't know what our crossover audience is there. Mikey Madison will be the second Ghostface to be nominated. Because I was sitting here thinking, like, would she be the first? I almost forgot Laurie Metcalf. Beat her to it. But yeah, let's make that a trend. Let's.
The literal only chance I have of playing Ghostface is the fact that Debbie Salt is 5'8", so there you go.
Hey, it's better than the thing that I
Go.
found out this weekend, in that basically everyone knew the plot for Scream 4 because some blooming auction company sold off all the clothes and it said "as worn by," and they were like covered in blood, so you knew that they were thing. And then it even listed Ghostface costume worn by, blank and blank, revealing who was the Ghostface.
God dang, that's horrible.
Then again, I saw somebody apparently this weekend pay $4,000 for a signed Taylor Swift guitar and then smash it up with a hammer.
That guy can shoot guy in fire.
But yeah,
Thank you,
that's everybody else.
I'm,
It's down to you.
that person makes me very, very disgusted. So I don't like this lineup because there's so many deserving just names. Obviously, I can't say performances because obviously we're in September, like right to go in October, and we haven't seen most of these movies yet. As a matter of fact, I've seen none of these movies that I've got nominated. But that being said, I don't know how well Night Bitch is gonna do, so I had to bump Amy Adams this time around. And I ended up joining the train that everybody seems to be on with this Maria bandwagon for Jolie, which I'm okay with. That's fine. I wanted to run Demi Moore so bad. Oh my God, I totally did. And I just I want to see The Substance get something of worth in award season. And I feel that it will at least get one nomination somewhere, hopefully. And Moore's performance is definitely worth it, especially with all the insane stuff she has to go through. But I've already said too much as it is. Obviously thinking with my heart instead of my head here when it comes to Gaga. I don't know how well Joker is going to do, but we have to play on what AJ said last time, that Joker far overperformed the last time that it was a thing. So it's possible it could happen yet again. I guess we'll see what happens with that. So I'm still running Gaga on the spot. Carlos Sofia Gascon seems to be like the big deal going out for Amelia Perez right now, as it should be. So I feel that a watch in a tiny theater across town is probably coming my way sooner rather than later, because I don't think it'll make it to AMC. The one to beat right now is Mikey Madison, and yeah, we're gonna just cut it at that. And I had to bump Florence Pugh here, which again, an opposite with Gaga. Instead of going with my heart instead of my head, I went with my head instead of my heart. So We Live in Time, I feel, will have an audience, and it deserves to have an audience, and I feel that it could translate somewhere, but I'm not necessarily sure it's going to be the Oscar race. So I bumped it out for a little piece of my back past, and that would be the person that I always see at AMC every single week, and that is Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl.
I just got to throw one more Angelina thing out there.
Go ahead.
Another thing I think had me confident in her was that she does not have the best filmography.
Mm-mm.
She's in mostly shit movies, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that makes people forget how incredible of an actress she is. Because obviously she's won in the past for a role she very much deserved to win for. And then she got that nomination for Changeling. A nomination she missed out on that she absolutely should have gotten was A Mighty Heart, which I think was the year before Changeling. And even in the shit movies, she's pretty incredible. So I have high hopes for whatever she's done with this one. So yeah. Are we going leading actor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know where this is headed. Me too!
Well, I will say, once again, it's switching out Bird for The Brutalist, because I had Barry Keoghan in here.
Yeah.
So I mainly took him out because Bird didn't blow up at TIFF like I thought it could have.
That's fair.
What I had heard recently was that he's actually more of a side character than previously thought. But honestly, the way that was being described just made him sound like Paul Mescal in Aftersun.
Ooh.
who I still to this day am like, that was totally a supporting role, but it's I mean, he's who you really remember from the movie, but the girl was obviously, you know, the lead of that movie. But still, even if I would have had that argument, I took him out for, take a wild guess. I'm psyched. I've been waiting. I have actually been waiting, yes.
Yep.
I have been waiting for the moment Adrian Brody comes back and says, "Hey guys, remember that I'm an Oscar winner, right?" So I would love to see that. So Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, and then Timothy Chalamet for Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo, Fines. And I'm sticking with John David Washington as well. Like I said, if he can handle the role, and if he can bring his charisma that he's kind of been hiding a little bit, like I said, he's got plenty of charisma in Black Klansman, but for this role in The Piano Lesson, he's got to go his dad big. So we'll see if he's got it in him. But if he does, I'm confident that he'll be here.
It would be a cool story to have both Washingtons get nominated in the same Oscar race, in different categories.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's an honor for Denzel if he was to get nominated for an August Wilson adaptation or an August Wilson role.
Absolutely.
Couple of switches. Spider-Man and the Joker move out. And in their place go James Bond and insert pianist reference here. I don't know.
I already made the motion. Come on. Like multiple times.
I couldn't think of like the other characters, like what the name of his character was in Grand Budapest.
Cadillac Record.
Was it Dimitri, maybe?
That sounds possible.
It's something like that if it's not that.
Reasonably right. So I have...
yeah, it's Dimitri. Good job.
I have Brody for The Brutalist
AJ.
and Daniel Craig for Queer, joining Timothy Chalamet for Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, and Rafe, although I want to call him Ralph, Fiennes for Conclave. Spencer has... Spencer believes that men don't exist, because I don't see Best Actor. It just jumps straight from actress to director, so... Spencer, if you are still in chat and you want to leave that, although from numbers you may not be. So that'll be forever in the ether. So then I just go to Bryce. The just missing out list is Nicholas Hoult for Juror Number 2, Jesse Eisenberg for A Real Pain, John David Washington for Piano Lesson, Paul Mescal for Gladiator 2, Glenn Powell for Hitman, and Tom Hiddleston for Life of Chuck. Again, asterisks. But the 5 are Sebastian Stan for Apprentice, Timothy Chalamet for Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, and Adrian Brody for Da Brutalist.
It's hard to ignore that Sebastian Stan is having a year.
Mm-hmm.
At my art house thing, they are showing. Is it A Different Life? The one with Adam.
Different man.
The one with Adam in as well.
A Different Man, yeah.
Yeah, Different Man. That's it. As I said last time, when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I guess Adam's in the lead role. Oh wait, that's Sebastian under a very realistic makeup. Holy crap! Yeah, Stan's on a roll again. Owen, straight to you, because Josie also jumped straight to director. So.
This was a tough one. So yeah, I also did the same thing, and like I talked about the whole think with my heart instead of my head thing. I also had to bump Ski Spider-Man as well, which I'm not happy about, but I mean, again, just this is the season, and of course, like we talked about before, once again, Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, the movie that I probably will make it through, maybe 20 minutes if I'm lucky. Joining Ray Fiennes for Conclave, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, and yeah, I'm sticking to Joaquin for now, so we'll see how well that goes. I think I have more. I think in this panel for sure, I know I have more hope for Joker than all of us do. But I guess we'll see what happens when it actually gets seen.
Yeah, as you can see, I don't have it anywhere. I didn't have it anywhere last time either.
Yeah, that worked out well last time, but maybe this time it actually will work out for you. I finally get to see Joker not this Monday, but as in today, but next Monday. Finally.
Director?
Yes.
Guess what?
You did the same thing I did.
17 changes.
I was doing the bird thing. So Andrea Arnold is gone now. And I will give you one guess who replaced her. We have Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Sean Baker for Honora, Edward Berger for Conclave, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, and Denis Villeneuve for Dune. Still doing the thing where I'm at the beginning of the alphabet and then not. So, yeah, that was it. I took out Andrea Arnold and put Brady Corbett in and called it a day.
Ashley?
I moved out Mangold and Phillips for this one. And in moves Sean Baker. And I think I'm actually possibly helped by the Venice win. I'm going with Pedro Almodovar as well for Room Next Door.
That makes sense.
Because I think, that'd be his first director nomination since what?
Talk to her?
Yeah, which is 15 years-ish, I think.
21 years, actually.
Oh, wow, that old. He didn't even make it in for Y Tu Mama Tambien. Oh, my word. My word.
That was Cuarón, but that's...
Oh, sorry, yeah. I was trying to think. It was one around that time. It was similar.
All about my mother, thinking of.
I have Jack Audiard as well, still for Amelia Perez, Steve McQueen for Blitz, and Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2. In terms of chat, Spencer for director has Villeneuve for Dune Part 2, Bradley Corbett for Brutalist, Luca Guadagnino for Challengers, Honora director. Sean Baker has no name. He is just the Honora director. And Amelia Perez director. Again, Jack Audiard has no name. Josie, I guess making up for not having actors and actresses, has Jack Audiard for Amelia Perez, Sean Baker for Honora, Bradley Corbett for Brutalist, Robert Eggers for Nosferatu, Coralie Fargier for Substance, Payal Kapadia, I'm trying to remember what that one's for, Steve McQueen for Blitz, Mohamed Rasalouf for the snail thing, Walter Salas for something, and Ridley Scott for Gladiator 2.
All right. So, it's weird because there's somebody that should be in this lineup, and it's already been mentioned by everybody on the panel. I don't know why me, of all people, are the one that's kind of championing against this guarantee. But until James Mangold decides he wants to flutter away or Todd Phillips is completely out of the conversation, nope, you're not in here. You don't have a name. You don't need one. Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Edward Berger for Conclave, James Mangold for Complete Unknown, Todd Phillips for Joker Folie à Deux, and yes, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist. Steve McQueen, bye. Sorry. feel like I lost all my hope for Blitz, and I feel bad.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably was you haven't heard that much, and I guess he's keeping cards close to his chest because he actually wants it to be a surprise for the London Film Festival, which is only sort of 2-ish weeks away. So
That's fair.
One.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, guys. Yep. Even with 10 slots, one change to put the Brutalist in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you'll notice also that I have completely ignored Blitz until now. That might seem weird, but I honestly just don't know what to do with it right
Nope.
now.
How? What was the film? I'm trying to remember. We've had it the last couple of years. Well, Women Talking.
Mm-hmm.
It only got in for screenplay and picture, so
I
it's
think
feasible
one
that
of the
something could show up here.
I think another one that was probably jumping into your head was Selma,
Mm-hmm.
where it got song and picture.
Yeah, but I wasn't there was another one in the last couple of years that sort of, I think it might have had a writing nod and maybe one acting, but then nothing else, but then made it in picture as well.
I remember Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close only had Von Sydow going in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I had Bird in here because I was doing that whole thing. Didn't pan out at TIFF, so took Bird out. I put the Brutalist in. It's the same otherwise. Honora, Blitz, the Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune, Amelia Perez, The Piano Lesson, A Real Pain, and Sing Sing.
A fair few changes for me. Saturday Night moves out, We Live in Time moves out, and Joker moves out. So my 10, because I can't remember what I moved in. Honora, Blitz, Brutalist, Complete Unknown, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Amelia Perez, The Piano Lesson, The Room Next Door, and Sing Sing. Which, I guess that's relatively fair because there's 2 Netflix and 2 A24s. And I feel that's where the fight will have between each other, and then, that gives Sony and Warner Brothers and Focus and Searchlight and all the other studios a chance to pick up the rest of the nominations. Pretty much. Spencer for picture has Honora, Brutalist, Wild Robot, Inside Out 2, Amelia Perez, Substance, Doom Part 2, Wicked. There's commitment there. Nickel Boys and Challengers. Josie has where is it? All We Imagine Is Light, Honora, Blitz, Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Gladiator 2, I'm Still Here, Memoir of a Snail, Nosferatu, Seed of a Sacred Fig. Oh, that was the snail thing I was thinking of. I was getting seed and fig thing, and somehow it made snail, and also the Wild Robot. And then for picture, for 10 missing out, are Challengers, I'm Still Here, Piano Lesson. Oh, hang on, let's double check. Okay, so I'm Still Here, Piano Lesson, Baby Girl, A Real Pain, Gladiator 2, Hitman, All We Imagine Is Light, Wild Robot, and Inside Out 2. Challengers gets moved out because that moves into the top 10, taking the place of Life of Chuck. So the other 9, along with Challengers, is Honora, Blitz, Brutalist, Complete Unknown, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Amelia Perez, The Room Next Door, and Sing Sing. Although Bry adds, as the 10th slot, everyone's favourite, Madame Web. Just kidding, Challengers, but I'm only having it in for picture and screenplay. There we go, we've had a few there.
Okay. I'll do mine, and then we get the little bit we have left in chat, and then we're going to take it home.
Mm-hmm.
Picture change with one notable exception. I'm sure you can guess what it is. I did not want to bump a real pain out of here. I really think that it might be something that people are going to sleep on, but the trailer alone makes me think that it's going to do something. But I had to bump it because that's how things work. AJ mentioned not having any really hope in Blitz, except for now. I dropped all my hope for Blitz, except for now, so it stays where it also lives with the other 8. Honora, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Joker Folie à Deux, The Piano Lesson, and Sing Sing.
So the rest of the chat. Also, I think because it'd be worth doing so we don't have to do it in future things. We have the Criterion Collection list for the entirety of the rest of the year, so we'll go through those as to what AJ is particularly excited for. But firstly, Spencer says, really enjoyed Amber Alert with Tyler James Williams and Hayden Panettiere. The substance is the fucking moment. Demi Moore is a star, same with Margaret Qualley.
Hell yeah. People are sleeping on her way too much.
Spencer also says, love Sanctuary. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Whoa.
Thank you, Spencer. Thank you for giving me validation.
What was the woe for?
Oh my god.
Spencer's on my side, AJ.
So hang on. Just
No,
to clarify, this isn't breaking news. This is Criterion thing that you're looking at for.
This is the first time I've seen the No Country cover.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. Because I feel it's important for mentioning Bryce's comment, hey, you abandoned Snoopy in the vestibule.
Good lord.
How did Maestro come back? I thought we'd all forgotten Maestro.
Sorry I didn't participate much last podcast because of a migraine, but thanks for saving my picks through the video, and that's what I've done again. If you want to know where I'd got the picks, it was actually from an app I use called Award Expert. Made Brother Bro of the Oscar Expert here on YouTube, although no one's an award expert. It's not like Gold Derby. I just use to keep it easy with my picks instead of you having to use a PowerPoint on Google Drive. And even though this isn't a Hangout, just want to mention I did resume back watching the Oscar movies of the 2000s, so he's caught up with Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, Eastern Promises, The Contender, The Messenger, Wonder Boys, Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire, Half Nelson, Lars and the Real Girl, No Man's Land, Motorcycle Diaries, Bolt, Brother Bear, 21 Grams, 9, of which made me have to watch L8.5 first. There's a Criterion collection for that. We'll get to that. Yeah. Doubt and City of God. And speaking of City of God, right now on Max there's a mini-series follow-up. City of God, The Fight Rages On, with Fernando Meirelles as producer and Alexandra Rodriguez reprising his role from the original. And after seeing City of God, Sofia Coppola should have got directing for Lost in Translation.
That's an interesting take.
And on the Life of Chuck thing, I made the prediction video too early because I wanted to do predictions before New York Film Festival, before everything got confirmed. Josie was apologising for her tardiness, had a bit of an emergency, leaving her phone on the bus. But luckily she managed to get it back.
So real quick, a quick anecdote. I did the same thing a while back. I literally left it at the AMC theater that I always go to. It fell in the cracks of the seat, which I should know better because obviously I know that happens. I got all the way to Disney property before I realized that it wasn't there. I called frantically. I got to the theater and they're like, oh, yeah, what is it? I was like, it's a wallet. I was like, I didn't find a wallet. I was like, okay, did you find a lanyard pouch? No, we didn't find a lanyard. No, just the literal pouch. Oh, this is yours? Yes, this is mine. Killed 2 hours of my day, Josie. I totally understand. So embarrassing, especially since I go to AMC every single week and they know me there.
Read lots of good books recently. Recently finished reading James and the Trees by Percival Everett. Both great books. Recent first time watches I want to highlight: Stir Crazy, Key Largo, the original Quatermass Experiment, Maniac Cop, Count of Monte Cristo, Pulse, Dragnet, Open Your Eyes, The President's Analyst, The Devil Rides Out, Body Belt, and The Bed Sitting Room, which he points out a great surreal comedy from Richard Lester, has a Monty Python meets Roy Anderson feel to it. Considering it's written by Spike Milligan, yes. Yes.
I like Dragon a lot.
That Spike Milligan style stuff is a film that I wanted to bring to Movie Club, and it's in reserve for if and when it does come back. Something in that same vein, which has sort of a family connection to some extent. I'm also adding Ghostlight and All We Imagine as Light, making it 10. Oh, to the original screenplay. Ghost of the Light is another one of my faves of the year so far. Nicholas Hoult is a phenomenal actor. So, but if he's shitting during number 2, it's his fault.
I feel like it's unlikely he's going to be shitting during number 2.
Owen, heads up, I'm going to message you on Twitter my awards for first time watches of the summer, which you didn't get round to last time. I don't know if you want to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, you did. I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
I was waiting. I've got it.
Might as well bring it up now.
I will, as soon as my computer decides it wants to work. There we go. So we've got, since last time, Josie has their editing lineup is 1987's The Hidden. Fascination was her sound win between 79 and 80. 99's Ravenous from Damon Albarn and Michael Nyman for score. Makeup also went to Ravenous for 99. Costumes went to The Boyfriend from 1971. Production design was 1998's Dark City. Also won color cinematography. And Black and White went to Miracle in Milan from 1951. Supporting actress was Hilary Dwyer from The Witchfinder General in 1968. Supporting actor was Robert Carlyle from Ravenous in 99. Miracle in Milan also won adapted screenplay. Throwdown in 2004 won original screenplay. Fernanda Montenegro from Central Station in 1998 won lead actress. Louis Koo for Throwdown in 2004 was lead actor. The Andromeda Strain won ensemble. And Antonia Bird won for Ravenous for director, and Best Picture was Miracle in Milan. Thanks.
I hope I don't look disinterested. The problem is that because it's so loud, I have to turn my fan off when we do these, and it's getting really hot in here.
Josie asks you, Owen, what other plays would you like to see the Sing Sing troupe play?
I honestly, at this point, just because it's been driven into my head lately, I would have to go with Rent. I think that would be very interesting. And Grease, actually. And I would shout out the Rocky Horror Show as well.
Which is getting a video game in the next 31 days. We'll see what that's like. Bryce says, of course, when Samuel L. Jackson lost the Oscar to Martin Landau, he said shit. And Bry asks, did AJ say that he fell asleep watching Allied? Or sorry, did AJ said that you, Owen, fell asleep watching Allied?
Probably.
Yeah, I actually liked Allied, so it was definitely there was that era where you fell asleep during Arrival, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see that twist coming? Oh.
I don't even remember this dude was in the movie. When was he there? He just kind of showed up and disappeared. You didn't see his whole screen time? No, I didn't.
Oh, you're talking about when you missed Brolin the first time you saw Dune.
Yes.
I don't even know how that happens.
And to be fair, AJ, you can probably try to back me up here. It's not because I'm bored with the movie. It's just something happens.
It might be the dark. That happens to me lately. But yeah.
Yeah, having to rewatch AEW on the regular because of my work schedule being 5 days a week. I have to get up in the morning, and sometimes I run first, and then I shower, and then I'm relaxing, and then I fall asleep, and then I'm watching AEW, and sometimes I fall asleep because I'm tired, so I go back and rewind it and everything like that. You can't really do that with a movie you're watching in the theater, so I just kind of deal with it.
You must have got really confused then with that one segment in Collision this week, when it became, segment 7, 8, 9, 10.
I watch the Fight TV feed, so no.
Oh.
I watch the good feed, the one with the great commentary that always ends up on Botchamania.
Josie says, when I see the Brutalist, I'm going to make sure I dress relatively fancily as if I'm going to a play. Also,
That's
Josie
fun,
says, happy birthday to Kieran Culkin, a lovable Libra like AJ.
Oh, that's nice.
That's funny because AJ's birthday will be by the time that we actually do the show. His is already passed.
Mm-hmm.
Mine aren't passed.
What she just said reminds me of the conversation Bill Hader and Matt Stone had about Fury Road, where Bill Hader walked up to him and he said, "Have you seen Fury Road yet?" And Matt Stone said, "I've seen it twice, and when I go the third time, I'm wearing a suit."
Because the name has been
I
mentioned.
can imagine that being said too. That's the thing. That's a conversation you truly can imagine in your mind.
Because the name has been mentioned, I think we have to acknowledge Bill Hader getting a second trip to the Criterion Closet. What the hell?
I wish we'd have gotten to see the whole thing.
Rather than have a montage.
I don't know why they made it a highlight reel. We could have had that for an hour or two.
Demi Moore is ferocious in The Substance, amazing work.
Yes.
Testament to Coralie Farge's wonderful direction and writing.
It's so disgusting. It's so visceral, and like these sound like buzzwords that coming from like a review, and they are truly, but never before can I say that about a film that just hooks you from the beginning and it takes you all the way to the end, and you are along for the ride whether you want to be or not, and you just have to sit there and deal with it.
And Josie also mentions what's brilliant about it, how Coralie is able to tell so much with very minimal dialogue. Bryce says,
the same way.
Dennis Quaid, that's all I gotta say to you.
Don't make me remember that fucking film. What was it, Resident?
No. No. Wrong reference. Here's the point. There it goes. Watch it far away.
I think Ashley's about to slander The Intruder, and I'm gonna have to.
Oh, that's it. The Intruder.
I'm gonna have to fight him on it.
That's the only thing I remember about that is the bloody meme face. Like, it's like, is Dennis Quaid entering the Gurning composition? Like, holy.
I stand by. I love his performance in that movie. I really do.
I can see Zendaya being this year's Lady Gaga a la House of Gucci, Viola Davis a la Woman King, and a la Margot Robbie for Barbie, where she gets nominated for everywhere for actress but actually misses the Oscar nomination. Substance should win VFX.
Oh my god, yes.
It should at least be in the shortlist, for the love of God, yeah.
100% it needs to be the short list.
Substance would make a great pairing with Body Melt.
You know, if you want to wait it, because something is about, because obviously I don't stream, as you know, but at the end of the day, something just got released recently, or it's about to be released, and that's Cuckoo. Watch Cuckoo with The Substance.
It's kind of left field, because it's more black comedy than black with a hint of comedy. But I feel How to Get Ahead in Advertising might be a good double bill with Substance.
You talk about it in like visual effects and makeup and stuff like that, and my first thought is yeah, if Dune hadn't been this year. But then again, I could almost see the Substance pulling an Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It's not impossible.
No.
Joe, I'm guessing this obviously is relating to Angelina Jolie because I just see in caps, the Bone Collector. Oh hell yeah!
Never. Yeah, it never occurred to me. Both of them are technically. I'm not really looking at Denzel for Gladiator 2, but technically they're both in the race. So
If you look at some of the recent Venice wins, those winners that got a picture nominee all got in for director. But if there's one thing that all Cam wins distributed by Neon happens and get an Oscar nomination for Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, and then a Blu-ray release on Criterion. Oh, Josie's added Payal Kapadia's for All We Imagine As Light and Walter Salazar's for I'm Still Here. And apparently AJ, along with Kieran Culkin, also Steve McQueen and Denis Villeneuve are also Libras.
nice.
Uh,
Is that the current Steve McQueen or the past Steve McQueen?
Maybe both. I don't know. Josie says Nightmare Alley just had a few techs as well as picture.
Oh God.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Just want to say this about Doom Part 2. If it wasn't delayed last year, it probably would have got in Best Picture, probably replacing Past Lives. I know Maestro is the go-to and would say, but the Academy loves Bradley Cooper too much.
Not enough to give him a win.
Don't make me choose between Dune 2 and Past Lives. I'm glad that wasn't a thing.
And Bri also mentions here they're doing a Criterion Collection truck.
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, I feel like they're making a bigger deal out of that than it is. I don't imagine there's going to be anything they have that you can't just get from their site or Amazon. But I guess it's the idea of being able to have feel like you're in the closet is what the gimmick is.
Josie says sight unseen. I think a real pain could pull a coda. And then on the bus today, my driver was listening to a podcast interview with Booker T. Oh, shucky ducky quack quack.
Not have Josie bringing up Booker T on my 2024 bingo card, but here we are.
And then Bryce says, thank you guys for another night now. Excuse me, I must go punch that baby.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, so let's discuss.
That was Poor Things, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I knew that's familiar. I had to think for a second.
To be fair, it could be a lot of things. That's the thing.
It could just be Brian's thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally have a hand that goes far out that could possibly do this, but if you know, you know. So.
So yeah, the Criterion thing is looking kind of super inspired for a lot of its list for the rest of the year. So coming up next week, October 8th, we've got I Walked With a Zombie and The Seventh Victim double bill because they were both produced by Val Luton.
Have we not been through something? I feel like we talked about.
I don't think we talked about the October ones because I don't remember Demon Pond or Pandora's Box or Gummo. I would have noticed Gummo because it's Harmony Korman.
Maybe I'm thinking. Oh, and when I told you about Gummo, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
I distinctly remember us talking about Gummo. I don't think it was on camera.
I think it was on the phone.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
And About Digrasses for October.
Oh no, I made the reference that somebody needs to tell Richard E. Grant that Funny Girl's in there. So we have been here.
Oh. Because I don't remember us talking about Godzilla because I'm like, holy shit. Godzilla's finally coming out and it might be coming to like the UK. Because that's like that came out as like a DVD, I think 20 years ago and hasn't had any sort of Blu-ray or anything since. So the fact that it's now like coming is like, that's extraordinary to me. We're also getting the OG Scarface as well back from 1932, I think.
That sounds right, yeah.
We're also getting a new edition of Seven Samurai as well, and Ryuichi Sakamoto's Opus and Shape of Water and Paper Moon. But then the one that I think is the fascinating one, which is an early release for one that's getting re-released in December, is the 40th Anniversary Collection, which is only $640. Mainly because it's 40 films, including Fellini's 8.5, which, as I previously sort of teased and we brought up, is coming out on its own, I think December 10th. But that collection's also got Tokyo Story, All That Jazz, Bicycle Thieves, Repo Man, Naked, Jules and Jim, Being There, Weekend, Yee Yee, Night of the Hunter, Pickpocket, Sweet Smell of Success, On the Waterfront, Do the Right Thing, Ratcatcher, Sunday Bloody Sunday, Mirror, Barry Lyndon, Safe, Seconds, His Girl Friday, Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters, Y Tu Mama Tambien, My Own Private Idaho, Love and Basketball, Night of the Living Dead, Ace in the Hole, Free Women, The Red Shoes, Down by Law, La Canaga, Wanda, House, Sullivan's Travels, Battle of Algiers, Woman Under the Influence, Cleo from 5 to 7, Persona, and In the Mood for Love. What a fucking list that is. For somebody that wants to get into like what the idea of the Criterion Collection, I know it's going to cost a lot, so you're probably going to wait for the sale to show up. But that's a heck of a bundle of 40.
I mean, I'm one of those people that prefers a library, so it's probably never something I would pursue. But
No.
yeah, for somebody that like needs like a starter pack, that's a very expensive starter pack, but the way to go.
Yeah. But then yeah, the standalone releases for December. Although some of these I think did, you know, as I said, about 8.5, and I think Paris, Texas was also in there possibly. But yeah, Paris, Texas on the 3rd. No Country for Old Men, The Beast, an 8.5 on the 10th. And then Ryosuke Hamaguchi's Evil Does Not Exist is getting released on the 17th, along with Sammo Hung. God bless L.A. Law. His film Eastern Condors from like, what, 80... Yeah, 87. Getting a remaster. A good combination. And I'm hoping the Godzilla one shows up before the end of the year in the UK. Although we won't get the DVD version, sadly. It'll just be the Blu-ray version. Or to be fair, it'll probably be just the 4K version rather than the Blu-ray on its own. But, you know, if I can get the one on its own, I probably will. Because especially, oh wow, because it's going to have both the original Japanese version and the Americanized dubbed version from 56 as well. Interesting. Good to know. Apparently Bry didn't say Bry hasn't punched the baby because he's back. Josie was talking about Steve McQueen, the director. Which wrestler would you like to see join the Sing Sing troupe, Owen?
Oh God. I'm going to go with. Can I go with Jericho?
No.
Or Kurt Angle, because they both have done time. So I think that would work.
In terms of performance stuff, a la sort of Hugh Grant style, Paddington-wise, Sandow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Aaron Rex would be perfect for it. Joe's having the show. Yeah, Bryce had the big Criterion 40 box set, mainly based on all the closet pick videos on what were the most picks, and Bryce says it isn't worth it.
I mean, if we're going by, you know, movies that were picked in Criterion Closet videos, it should just be 40 copies of Being There.
Just to make sure you'll never lose one. Then you can gift them to other friends, so then everybody else knows about the awesomeness of Peter Sellers. So yeah. Oh, Briar of course goes. Ash should be saying Paddington in Peru, motherfuckers.
God,
Hey,
that
that is. Let me clarify. Hang on, I need to. UK Film Distributors Association, please. I need to double check when it's coming out. This is the advantage of us being less than 2 hours. I can actually check these things. No, I don't want pass. I want pad. Okay, Paddington Peru's 8th of November. So that the video we do in November, I might just be randomly shouting Paddington Peru, motherfuckers, unless it's bad.
There's no way.
It's almost funnier when you just say it in a normal tone.
Although interestingly, it's going day and date against Red 1. So.
Oh. It might be in some trouble box office wise.
Will it though?
But it doesn't mean anything about its quality because it's Paddington's, and Paddington does not.
All I'm trying to say is, in terms of the family market, you've got two going head to head with each other. It's not like it's different genres. That being said, on the awards front, Nickel Boy's Bird and Piano Lesson are the same day as those two as well. So
God,
it's a bloodbath! Especially because one's a Netflix, so I'm not going to get a chance to see it, and the others are probably going to be in about 4 screens near me. As in within like 500 miles of me. So don't get my hopes up. But with that, yeah, Paddington is coming. Except unlike Freddy, it's not trademarked. I don't have to put TM in front of Paddington's name. Thanks, station. Right. So that's your lot. We'll be... Well, me and AJ will be back. I don't know whether because of everything Owen's schedule means he won't be able to at the end of October.
No, we're good.
Okay.
I got to figure out how we're gonna make it work though. It might be the week before because that's
I was gonna say.
That's a long week.
I was gonna say that's gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be the last Monday of the month if it is, because
when I was scheduling October, you gave me a date that I have.
Okay, good.
And that date, I believe, is the last Monday. It's the 29th.
That would be the 28th is Monday. But there's also, we closed for a hurricane last week. When this happens, there's a possibility we're at days. I'm already working, missing one day, and that's the only day I have off. But that day may get added, and if it does, then we're probably just going to have to go the week before.
Okay.
So, like October 21st or 22nd.
Yeah.
Probably 21st. 22nd. I don't know. We'll figure out. It'll be posted social media.
Yeah, stuff will be found out.
So, Ashley started this month, literally the first video of the month in September. I ran you all the way through September. We had Sip and Snack September, which we did a lot of various Sip and Snack videos. AJ officially takes the network over for the month of October, which will be the return of reviews. Versus with a little bit of a twist to it, which will be a way we're going moving forward. You're going to have to find out very soon. And there's segments you love to check out, whether you put them on in the background when you're doing other things or you're just paying close attention to everything. AJ's going to have all of your movie needs covered in the month of October. November, December, I'm not sure yet. We'll have to figure that one out.
I shot a video this morning that was a fucking pain in the ass, so I hope you all enjoy it. And I was really hoping to do the Speaking of Lonely for If before October, but since I haven't, I'm probably just going to do what I did with Pain Hustlers and just make it November 1st.
That works.
Is that it?
Ashley, you are also found on the Twitter at or whatever you want to call it nowadays, at Ash's My Name UK.
Mm-hmm.
I would say gaming content will be coming back in the future. More snack stashes coming in the future as well.
Yeah, no doubt, because the Monopoly thing is finishing sort of mid-October. Something Halloween sort of adjacent will be showing up in McDonald's, and then I've got plenty of other things. I've got the whatever that Pepsi is to get my opinion on it. Annoyingly, they're only doing one half of the deal here, but I've managed to pick up some cans of the Coke with Oreo, so you'll get my take on that as well. There's other Prime drinks which I need to drink because I need to get enough lead in my system. Allegedly. And all sorts of other things. The fizzy orange aid thing needs to happen, and then I'm probably going to tie that in because, dear God, there's too many different types of Terry's chocolate orange this Christmas, so we're going to be doing that, including one that I think to some people will be sacrilege, but we'll cover that when we get to it.
So, as it pertains to daily content for September, that was a necessity because it made sense to give you guys and girls out there new content to watch for an entire month, since we were kind of like slacking a little bit on the content. But no worry about that. AJ's got you covered for October. November and December very well could be more daily content. But once 2025 hits, we'll go back to the whole schedule of being like sporadic throughout the week, so we don't have to stick to a schedule.
Yeah. And to some extent, obviously, with the way December goes, we'll probably be discussing, at least mid-December, some of the awards nominations as well.
Sure.
Probably when they come out, so.
So thanks to everyone in chat. Thanks to Josie and Brian and Spencer. As always, thanks if you were lurking in chat and you didn't say hello. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you all. As my birthday went past a couple weeks ago, AJ's will be done by the time that we go live again, and Ashley's as well. Thanks everyone for joining us this evening. Hopefully the next time you see me, I'll have some good news to share. I guess we're just going to put a pin in that and hope that I can make it work. That being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until next time, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.